2021 North Texas Open. I shot carry optics. I'm still new to it, enjoying it. Here's a little commentary, which is a little out of the ordinary for me. But I figured I would change the format up a little bit and see if you guys like it. First stage was really cool. Playing, having to engage a stomp box while drawing and doing an unloaded start was super interesting, very difficult. More than I thought it would be. The shooting itself on partials, even though it was a partial swinger at distance, was actually easier than the freaking start was. So I'm definitely going to try some of this in dry fire. The fact that it puts you off balance for that first shot at distance was super interesting, and I actually enjoyed this stage more than I care to admit, despite that I didn't do as well on it as I would like to have done.
Clear, 715, 715.
Of note on this stage, I'm shooting TikTok. This is a classifier, USPSA classifier. I forget the classification, the classifier number. But this was personally, my first GM classifier. Now, I have shot this exactly 3 million times. We shoot at an indoor club, Century Defense in Youngsville, and this is an easy one to set up. So I've actually shot this classifier a bajillion times. I think this might have been the first time shooting the classifier in CO, but I just happened to connect. It was really mostly luck. But I am going to point out that I shot a GM classifier. Thank you very much.
Stand by. Clear, 713.
Okay, this next stage has a lot of crap going on. Basically, it's an unloaded start again. You draw, engage some targets on the right, and then move over to the left and engage some targets on the left. Problem was, facing straight into the sun, I draw, and being a novice dot shooter, I'm shooting an SRO, and guess how many dots there were? There were 2 of them. So I guessed which one was the right one based on index, and luckily I was right. It was complete luck. So it takes a little bit of a delay. You can tell I'm kind of double checking bullet holes, which are hard to see in the sun. I get over here, and then I'm engaging that far right target, and guess what? I hit the freaking wall. So yeah, you can actually hear it go ping, and then you hear it bounce off the wall and almost hit the target on the left. Anyway, take a look.
He's finished. Unload and show clear.
Okay, next stage. This is actually the first time that I've ever used tape on a dot. It was perfect to try in a major match. I don't recommend doing that. It just kind of was a necessity. I didn't realize how bad the 2-dot issue would be. So anyway, it ended up being blue painter's tape, which is completely goofy looking, and it was like shocking when I would pick it up and look at it. There's just this big blue plane in front of my face. So you can see that the shooting is substantially slower. I would recommend, if you're gonna, even if you're not a somebody who wants to cover the dot type of a person, I would suggest dry firing it just strictly ahead of time, just strictly for the fact that you may need to use it in a match, like in this case where the light is literally right over the top of the berm and just coming straight in through the optic. Even if it's not bothering your vision, it's still going to screw up your dot. I didn't realize mine would be that bad, and it in fact was. Nothing really to note here other than me jumping the buzzer and kind of screwing myself up, and the fact that there is yet another unloaded start, this time from a table, so it's different.
Stand by.
Man, I did really disappointed myself on this one. I absolutely loved the stage design on this stage. It was a super fun stage, and man, I had it built up in my head where I had the execution of this perfect. The problem is you had to engage a steel target in the second to last position that activated a swinger that would present itself in the last position on the right back here. And I came in, I had to shoot there was a double stack turtle targets that I had engaged 3 times. You'll see bang, bang, bang. So I shot each one 3 times, and I missed the presentation completely on the swinger and had to wait for it to shoot it again because I didn't get my hits. So cool, super cool stage, big plans, messed it up.
I was using
Man, I was so excited about this stage too. That middle position in the back, I absolutely nailed exactly what I wanted to do with the swinger, which is a problem for me, of activating the steel, taking the 2 paper, and then just making it in time to get over to whack that swinger as it presents. It was perfect. Then swing straight over and jet into the position. The problem I didn't anticipate was jamming my big fat foot into the base of the wall as it comes out right here. Whack. And I fall so hard forward that it completely slowed my roll on engaging these last targets, and I lost, I don't know, second and a half. I didn't count because it made me want to cry. So anyway, super fun stage. I almost nailed it. Yet again, problems. Okay, some cool things in this stage. On the left here, you're going to see a swinger swing out that is partialed up, that is basically a head box only. I can't even imagine shooting this with irons. It's very close and a very slow swinger, but man, talk about make your butt clench. The other thing that happened to me on this stage is I got popper effed. You can see that popper on the left over there. That thing, I hit it kind of low left in the calibration zone, and it did not knock it over. I was not the only shooter that I witnessed while sitting there waiting to shoot this stage get popper effed. And even though there's new calibration rules, they still suck, and I still got screwed despite the fact that I hit a target and moved on in a match where it basically is within the calibration zone. So I'm not too bitter about it, but I'm bitter. This wasn't nationals, and I ain't JJ, but that still hurts. Super cool stage, super fun. Like the door, like the activator, it was neat. The other thing of note is Tom Pirtle's badass cowboy hat. I shot the back targets stupid slow, and I regret it. And this whole like creepy, stupid guy walking back thing, tactical fat guy, was a terrible idea. The next array here, I was pretty proud of. You had to engage an activator, which you can't see because the camera is not showing it, but you activate it, and basically you had time to squeeze in a partial target and then shoot a drop turner. That were no penalty mics, but it was still pretty cool. It finished on a super hard lean, and I'm so fat and top heavy that I would have to squat almost to my butt, and I haven't figured out how to not do the twinkle toe thing here. I literally had to shoot this falling out just because I couldn't reach it. So hopefully I'll improve that later in dry fire. Another cool stage, yet again, an unloaded start from a table, this time mags on table. This one, it was, even though I'm shooting carry optics and I'm used to shooting production, which is low cap, you still had to kind of be careful here because you had just enough rope to hang yourself. They had some very tiny steel way out there, and if you had to take a couple of makeups, you could easily be an idiot and run dry. The coolest thing of note here is the guy, one of the guys on the squad didn't see me grab a magazine and slap it on my magnet, so the whole time he thinks at this point that I'm going to come run into the back freaking out looking for ammo, which I didn't. The target's on the right over here. I wish that I would have run all the way to the end and engaged them instead of shooting them here doing the creepy duck walk, cool fat guy tactical thing. It would have been way faster and cleaner, and I would have gotten better hits on it as well. I was just afraid of the 180 thing here, shooting to the right side of that barrel. But anyway, other than that, very cool stage.
That's where it was when he was reading.
Alright, so I'm going to talk about some of the things that I never hear anybody talk about with a match, and that's the facilities and the match itself. Basically, this match has awesome stages. They're all different. It's a neat mix between long, short, medium courses. They're not all long. They're not all short. They're not all the same. So they use turtle targets. They use USPSA targets. The people are super nice. The staff was very friendly. Other than getting popper effed on a frickin' mini popper, which, what the hell, man. This was an awesome match. It always is. This is my second year going to this match, and I absolutely love it. The facilities are amazing. They have really good berms. The people are safe. The ROs are well trained and polite, and they care about it. They're also shooters. I didn't see any weird shenanigans going on with scoring. The range itself is a good range. It's Mission 160 range. They had tons of porta potties, more than enough, unlike Nationals at low cap. They have actual like hand washing stations, which was super cool because you could go over, wash Pro Grip and lead off of your hands before you went and ate lunch or whatever, you know, just throughout the course of the day. I thought that was kind of a nice touch in addition to the usual porta potties, which were not overfilled, and there were plenty of them. They were spread out throughout the range. Another thing that I really liked was access to restaurants, good clean hotel rooms, things of that nature. There's a great place to have it. I did not fly to this match. I was fortunate enough to be able to drive, but there's airports nearby. So it was a super good match, well run. I would highly recommend it, and I cannot honestly say that about every match I've attended. So hit it up next year. They had crazy good shooters. Second place dude at Nationals shot it, Dazhi. So come check it out if you get a chance. And by the way, don't just be a shooter. Be a century.